Okay, we are going to decompose a vector. What do you mean, you might ask, when I say we're going to decompose a vector? Let's take two vectors right now, the two in black, u and v. Okay? U and v are two vectors that have an angle, an acute angle between them of theta. Let's label that right now. Let's label that angle theta. Okay? Now, these red vectors, along with these parallel dotted lines that I've drawn in, those are the components of u. Okay? What does that mean? Well, I got W1 is at a right angle to W2, which is also in perfect line with V. Okay? Which means that W1 is also a right angle with V. It is orthogonal to V. So what we can do is we can set up an equation where U, the vector U, equals W1 plus W2. Okay? Now, W2 equals V times some scalar that we'll call C. Okay? W2 is in the same direction as V, but it's some degree larger or smaller than V. Okay? Now, what that means is if I take the dot product of U and V, that equals, and this is U, right? Oops, that's not U. This is U. Dot product with V. So I just substituted U, which I know is the W1 vector, plus some scalar C times the V vector, and I'm dot producting that with V. Now I can simplify this. Maybe it's not so simple, but I have CV dot V plus W1 dot product with V. Now I have C times the magnitude of V squared plus 0. Why is that 0? What is the angle between the W1 vector right here and V right there? What is it? Well, remember, W1 dot V equals W1 oops, it equals the magnitude of W times the magnitude of V times cosine of 90 degrees. And the cosine of 90 is 0. So W1 dot V equals 0. So, long story short is this. Remember, we said C equals, or I'm sorry, U dot V equals C times the magnitude of V squared plus 0. So what that means, I can ignore the 0, and C equals U dot V divided by the magnitude of V squared. And now here's what we got. W1. So this begs the question, what is a projection? Well, let's take a look at that real quick. Let's go back to our original scenario where I got vector U and vector V. And I'm going to draw in those dotted red lines that I had before. Let me do that real quick. So I got a dotted line like that and a dotted line like that. And those are at right angles to one another. And I'm also going to draw a sun. Let's do that in yellow. Let's do that nice, big, fat yellow. So I got a sun right here. The sun rays bearing down. And that sun is shining directly on top of my vector U. That vector U is going to cast a shadow directly down onto V. Okay? It's going to go like so. Sunshine is going to go down like this, and it's going to cast a shadow. And that shadow is going to look like this on V. It's going to look like that. It's going to go directly to that spot right here, right there. And that vector that is in line with V, but it's also the length of that shadow that's cast by you, is the projection onto V of the vector U. That is what that vector is called.